In this video we're going to be looking over this Minolta XG-1 35mm film SLR camera equipped with the f2 50mm MD lens. And my goal here is to walk through the function of this camera in a way that's similar to how you would inspect it if you had it in your hand. So what we're going to do first of all is install some batteries. Now these batteries do not come with it, but they're here for testing purposes. And while we're doing this, we can inspect the battery compartment. It's nice and clean. The holder is nice and clean. And so I've got a couple of batteries we'll just drop in and put them in. Okay, so now what we should be able to do is do the battery check. And we can see the red light comes on over there indicating it's good. Okay, so now it's turned on, and I thought what I'd do is just step down through the shutter speeds. So here 1/1000th, 1/500th, 1/250th, 1/125th, 1/60th, 1/30th, 1/15th, 1/8th, 1/4, 1/2, 1 full second. The bulb setting where the lens stays stopped down and shutter stays open as long as I hold the button down. Cycle completes when I let up. We can do the self timer here. We set that up there for self timer. Cock this and set it right here. You should be able to watch the light here blinking. And then the cycle will finish in just a few seconds. Faster blink, and there we go. So self-timer's working. I'm going to set that back to on. If we look here up on the top, it's got a nice rewind crank. If we pull up on the crank, that opens the back of the camera. And let's run the cycle here a little bit. Okay, we see the film transport working, and the shutter is working. One thing I do notice, there's some foam over here, light seal and residue along the edges. I would say this camera probably needs those redone. I think it does. So other than that, it seems pretty sound and it seems to be working. I'm going to set this on automatic here, and then we're going to point it. I'm going to set this. Let's set it at F16 and point it at this light. We saw the lens was stopped down, very fast shutter speed. Now I'm going to shut off this light and we'll listen to it. Much slower. So the only thing that was different was the light was on. So we can see that the metering is controlling that. If we take the lens off the camera, we can look at the focus, nice and smooth, and the aperture ring has nice clicks. This lens actually has the locking setting at the minimum aperture. That's not used on this camera that I know of. I don't think it is. But on something like the X700 with its program mode, you would set that to F22 and just leave the green showing there. But we'll take that off. I did check the aperture blades are nice and quick and snappy. And if we open the lens wide open and I shine a light in the back, looks pretty good. I see a little bit of dust, possibly some very light haze at a level down in there, but pretty good. Certainly an acceptable lens to use. And if we look in the mirror box here, looks like this foam up here that the mirror flips against is pretty dried out and missing and bad. Something looks kind of unusual about this plastic shield right there too, but should be okay. The aperture follower ring has sprung and that seems to work well. So we'll mount the lens back on, aligning the red dots. And we'll shut it off. On the bottom there's still some protective plastic here, so that's nice. That stayed in place to protect the bottom against scuffing. It has an original Minolta strap with the Minolta name on there and a little holder for an extra set of batteries. There's none in there right now. And I've got this Minolta 49mm lens cap that fits it. So, fairly nice example of the Minolta XG-1. I would say it does need some light seals, but other than that, it looks like a functional camera.